Produced by Jim Cross. This man is all too familiar with pain. A heavyweight boxing champion who battled Muhammad Ali 3 times. His career, like that of all boxers, bordered the fine line between sport and combat. One wrong reaction, or lack of reaction, can spell the difference between glory and pain. You know, I've been around some pretty famous people in my life, but I always wanted to get a chance to be around Ken Norton. Great opportunity for me, great opportunity for you, the viewer. Ken, great having you with us, buddy.
Good being here.
Now, I want to ask you some questions about yourself. Who are you? What's your background? And how'd you get into boxing?
Well, basically, I got involved in boxing when I was about 23 years old in the Marine Corps. It's a very late age to start, but then again, in high school and college, I was not introduced to boxing because in the city I lived in, which is a very small town in Illinois, Jacksonville, there was no boxing. All we had was basketball, football, track, baseball, and tennis.
Well, Ken, you've been out of boxing for about a year, but I know you're still fast, I know you're still powerful. And earlier this week, we've got a chance to take a look at you, just how powerful and how much speed you have, even with a 1-year layoff. Let's take a look. Well, as Ken punched the heavy bag while standing on the force plate, Dr. Gideon Ariel was able to measure the forces he exerted with a jab. Remember, as in every other sport, power comes from the ground up. So let's check in with Dr. Gideon Ariel.
Look at this, Vic. With his left jab, Ken Norton was producing 275 pounds. This is on one leg, on the front leg. This is over 500 pounds of force going right at the bag.
You know, Ken, I really appreciate how much force you get out of those legs, buddy. But why I'm tickled to death you're at the research centers because I always wanted to monitor how a big guy like you can make that blinding speed coming with your arms. Have you ever, up to this point, had any electronic measurement?
To this point, I have never tried it before.
All right, now you're going to get a chance to see what the measurements showed here at the research center.
Amen.
On this one, Ken, we checked you not only for power, but for hand speed.
Vic, this is the kinetic data for Ken Norton. Again, we look on the force curve, and what we're finding out here, that every time Ken Norton hit this bag, he can reach a force which is approximately 250, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less, but every time he hit the bag, it's 250 pounds on one leg. Also, he can do it quite fast. We're finding out that he can do it almost as 10 times a second. Anybody that can do that 10 times a second with 250 pounds every hit should be in a great shape.
So, buddy, you've been pulling my leg. Gideon says you're still like a 20-year-old.
Looks can be deceiving.
But let me tell you, Ken, if you had had this machinery before, would that have changed your life, the way, the style, or anything about your boxing career?
I feel that this machinery and what you're doing here is very sophisticated. So therefore, having this sophistication added along with my regular training, having the scientific data along with my regular training, I feel I could have been about 50% better at least. I would have had to improve.
Thanks for being with us on Future Sport. I'm coming to you for a loan.
Well, that's good.
Future Sport will be right back.